All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Team Set It Off weekly team call. I'm Jen, who likes to touch her hair a lot when she does videos. Thank you. So I know if you're watching the replay, you can see everybody on that is live. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. You should really get on to the live calls because it's just nice to be a part of our virtual community. We're going to actually talk a little bit about our quarterly event, Super Saturday, which pretty much everybody was at. And I'll have to tell you, I said it before, but I'll say it again, that going to a Super Saturday event is similar to those of us that like music and go to a concert. It's like it's one thing when you're by yourself and you're jamming out in your car listening to your favorite musician, but it's a whole nother ball field when you go to an actual concert and you meet other people that like the same music and you're all singing the same songs. And you might be somebody that you're the only one that likes a specific band, but then suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, there are other people that like this, this band or this type of music as well. The same thing, even more so, is true with a Super Saturday, because for those of you that you're the only fitness person, right? Or you have a limited amount of influence around you, like the majority of people around you don't really care about what they eat, or they don't care to work out, or maybe you're just really busy with work, or it's not something where you're maybe close to people that are on our team. And a Super Saturday event is a way for you to feel like, oh, I'm with my people, like I'm home, I'm with my like-minded friends. And you see all these people that are not afraid to be wearing their workout clothes in public and wearing like Beachbody swag, and they're excited to work out together. So it's just and the coolest part, I think, too, is that you see so many different types of people, different body types, different ages. I mean, you just see a whole plethora of people, and it makes you realize that this isn't a one-size-fits-all type of opportunity. So anyways, that's my spiel about Super Saturday. The next one is on January 7th. I'm telling you right now, you've got to get to one. Like, don't be afraid if you're the only one that's going in your area. Invite a friend to go with you, or if you have to travel, a couple hours to go to one. Alex went to our Super Saturday and had food poisoning the night before. So there are no excuses. I am just saying. I was freaking out to my husband. I was like, that's some shit I would do. I was like, I would do that. I'd be like, no, I'm cool. So it just speaks volumes. If you make this opportunity a priority, I'm here to tell you, on the other side in 2.5 years, and I'm not even reached my full potential. What are you talking? What you saying to me, Willis? You're talking to everybody else, or should I do speaker view? Oh, anyway, okay. Hey, stop throwing me off my game, lady. Anyways, so I forgot what I was saying, but make it a priority. Oh yeah, I was saying I'm on the other side of 2.5 years of coaching, and if you just do the things that work, like us and like successful coaches are telling you to do, you're not different. You're not the exception to the rule. If you go to the live events, if you go to Summit, if you are in a challenge group, if you're living proof of the products, then the rest will fall in place. Even if you keep trying to invite people and everyone's saying no, and you feel like you're getting more no's than yeses, eventually things will shift. It's just the compound effect. Right? This may be the season where you're just planting a lot of seeds and you're spending a shit ton of time cultivating, right? But pretty soon, AKA the new year, right? Where it's just going to be overwhelming, where all these seeds that you've planted and these relationships you've maintained are going to you're going to be able to harvest them, and they're going to blossom. So never, ever say never. I am literally in the midst of like my head spinning in a circle, because like every conversation I'm having, everyone's saying yes. Oh yeah, I'll be a coach. Oh yeah, I'll buy this challenge pack. I'm like, what the? Like, I haven't felt like this since the launch of 21 Day Fix Extreme. Like, it's insane. It's crazy. So anyways, so recapping our October, I almost said September. October was such a special month. I have to give the biggest shout out to Noella, and also Anna, because they have successfully hit Success Club. They have successfully hit Success Club 3 months in a row. So that means what? They get a free ticket to Summit, which is so exciting. I'm so freaking proud of them. I can't believe it's so special that both of you did it at the same time. So everyone give it up, right? If you're friends with Noella and Anna, you know, or you can shout them out on the team page. That is no easy feat, you guys. That doesn't ever happen. We went to our Super Saturdays and they're like, stand up if you were a success starter. Like maybe 5 people out of the 300 stood up. It's crazy. So it is a big freaking deal. And then for the rest of us that hit Success Club in October, Alex was like one of the first ones to hit it. Hey girl, hey. And then me and Kelly kind of towards the end of the month, we're like, oh yeah, that thing. I think we'll hit it now. So we ended the month, I think I ended at SC10. Kelly, you ended at like what, SC8, and then you added 2 coaches to your daughter and son's account. And then obviously Crystal's downline, we're going to do a big, the banner. So I hope we have enough room on the banner. But every month we like to put everybody's photo that hit Success Club on the banner that helped at least 3 people. So, you know, don't be shy. I know I'm like one to talk, as Kelly kind of called me out today, because I don't like feeling like, hey guys, I got a challenge pack sold. But you know, like I'm drooling because it makes me so excited. When you help someone get started on a challenge pack or become a coach, if you're not a zombie, like you're an actual human being, you know how exciting it is. Or even if you help someone buy the Core de Force base kit, like they don't even get Shakeology. If you help someone get started on anything, it is so flipping exciting. You know those endorphins and you're like, oh my God, like you're all excited. So feel free to share that in the team page. You know, your success is our success. And the more people that we can reach collectively together, the bigger this movement becomes, and that we can fight the trend of obesity and all the other health issues that maybe you can't even physically see, you know, depression and all those kinds of things. Because we're entering the time where people just kind of go F it, right? This is the time of year where people just kind of, you know, oh, whatever, like I'll figure it out in the new year. So you deciding to be here on this call, you know, and think about the next couple months. So November and December, quarter 4, right? 4th quarter. This is the end of the game. This is when it counts. This is where the magic happens, because most coaches, I'm telling you right now, because I was one of them, most coaches dip out. They stop being consistent with their workouts. They stop posting as much on social media. They get caught up in the holidays. They get caught up in, you know, like everything else going on. And so this is your time to shine. You being consistent in your journey, you finding balance, because we're not saying you have to like never eat anything fun, right? You finding balance, but for the most part, the way I think of it, and it sounds so silly, but it works for me, is I'm like, if I'm basically getting paid, like I can't pay my bills unless I take care of me. So if I'm not willing to eat healthy and work out every day and post every day, then I'm going to be broke. Like that's the way I view it. It's that important to me. Like especially those days that you have that are hard and you're like, gosh, I don't want to do this, or like, you know, I have every reason to not do my workout or to drink my Shakeology or to post, you know, those are the times where it counts the most. You know, it's just like your workouts. It's that last rep when you're like, oh, like you want to stop. That's the one that makes the biggest difference. So anyways, I had the privilege to go to Super Saturday in Seattle and also in San Diego. What do they call it? An anchorman? Is it the whale's vagina or something like that? Yeah, anyways. So it was so fun. Seattle was really great. We had a couple guest speakers. So we actually had a guest speaker, and I already know that Kelly had really great takeaways from it. But we had a guest speaker that was a 2-star diamond. And she was somebody that just kind of hit it hard out of the gates, had like a picture perfect life. she had a baby, she was getting married, and then went to go try to have another kid and had a miscarriage. So that kind of like took him back. But then she ended up getting pregnant. And like a couple months into her pregnancy, she found out her husband wanted to leave her. He wanted to divorce her, and he had been cheating on her for like a few years. So we were all like, oh, when she told her story, because she talked about, I don't have my notebook in front of me, but she talked about like the 5 tips to dealing with adversity and turning your failures or your struggles into your strengths, that kind of topic. And then we had another lady that talked about finishing the year strong. So Kelly, do you have any takeaways, any points you'd like to say? Because I don't have my notes in front of me from those 2 speakers.
Sure. I don't have my notes either, but I really did have a lot of interesting takeaways. The first speaker that you were talking about, that one of the things that she talked a lot about is that I don't think she had never really, she's going to pee. Like, we just can't stop drinking water. It's like 1 week post reset, it's like water. So the speaker, she talked a lot about how she had a lot of positive experiences with her fitness journey. Of course, she had a baby, so she had an opportunity to talk about how she lost the baby weight and got her confidence back. But one of the things that I specifically took away, oh, good, you got notes. I completely told everybody you went to pee. One of the things she talked a lot about was that she had to really overcome her fear of sharing some very personal, painful things on social media. She talked about how she started to really share. She shared a picture of herself crying. She talked about the miscarriage where she had not talked about it earlier. She reflected on, and she found more strength in herself in the support group that she had already grown. And of course, she found that there were more people out there that she was able to connect with through her struggles. Do you have your notes now? Because those 5 things were amazing if you can find them.
Yeah. So she talked about her 5 tips for your struggles into your strengths. So, she talked about this idea of going to 4th base. She's like, I'm not just like a, hey, how's it going kind of girl. She's like, I get into it, like on my social media. It's not on the surface. Like, I talk about some real shit. So she's like, having you think about why you're scared to share. And a great resource for vulnerability, I think everybody knows it, but maybe you don't. Brene Brown is such an amazing speaker. You can Google her or YouTube her, her TED Talks. She actually played some of it during her presentation. It is like so worth your 17 minutes to listen to her.
Jen, will you spell it for them, because it's with a B like boy, not R. Will you spell it?
So these were her 5 tips to turn your struggles into your strength. Number 1 was community. So she talked a lot about, when you're having a tough time, and I've been guilty of this, right? Because you're embarrassed. And it's so easy to shut people out, right? And be in your own pain alone. But she said the beautiful thing about this community, or, what we do as coaches, is the community. So that was her first tip, was lean into the community that we have. Jump in, don't jump out. The second thing was personal development. I think everybody gets beaten down with the personal development stick every time they go to a Super Saturday. But she talked about, if you want to be successful, you've got to read, audiobooks, podcasts, YouTubes. Like when I know Sylvia was in the car with me, and she's unemployed right now. And I remember being broke as a joke too, or just being stingy and being like, I want to pay $25 for an audiobook. So I would just YouTube like books that I wanted to read. Like You Are a Badass, you can YouTube that. Like The Compound Effect, you can YouTube that. Tony Robbins, you can YouTube that. Like, so being resourceful and looking for, different ways to get your personal development in. Something that me and Kelly were talking about today is we want to start doing the 12-week year, the book. We all kind of want to do it together. Do a test run for the end of this year, but then do a big hoorah for, I don't know why I did that. Hoorah. Big hoorah for the 12-week year. Number 3 was patience. So she said that patience is actually a form of action. because storms take time. And going back to Washington, seeing the rain and being reminded that storms definitely do take time. Sometimes they take several months to go away. And if you're in Southern California, sometimes they just take a couple days, you know, but just knowing that the tough times that you're going through are you don't know how long they're going to last, but you do have a choice to stick it out and be patient. Number 4 was having a vision or a why. So she, you know, being able to evolve and take action, knowing that you're doing something that's bigger than yourself, and that failure is truly learning. If you're not failing as a coach, like if you're not getting no's, if you're not feeling like a bag of rocks from time to time, you're probably not pushing yourself. You know, it's the same thing. If you did all our programs, the workouts, and you never were out of breath or sore the next day or cussing at Autumn or Tony Horton or whoever you're working out with, right? Then you probably aren't going to be making progress. You know, you'll just be kind of on the surface, half in and half out. So your vision and your why is something that even for me, because I was one of the success stories in Seattle, and they asked me what I would give as advice for new coaches, and I basically said your vision, your why. You know, really thinking about what you want in the next couple, like what you want in the next year, or what do you want your life to look like in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, so that you have this guiding light. So even if people closest to you don't see your vision, because trust me, my husband didn't see my vision. You know, he was like, you're crazy. And now look at me. I'm like, look at me now. But you know, you have to have this vision that sometimes, like, it's only a true leader is the person that can see things before other people can see it, right? Most people need proof before they believe. And real leaders, they know and they see before they believe before they see. You know, so, and then the last one was vulnerability. So just being able to open up. One thing we wanted to do that I wrote down as a note was doing a virtual vision board party for the new year. So just throwing that out there. I'm sure you agree. And if you don't, we'll force you to drink the Kool-Aid and agree. Kidding. So then the second speaker, I'm just reading my notes. So these are things I wrote down. You control your own destiny. 4th quarter, mediocrity to greatness. So she gave you 3 steps to go from mediocrity to greatness, or to control your own destiny. So number 1 would be consistency. So she gave this example of like the water or the stone in the water. So if you've ever seen like a rock in water or in the river, you see that the water is constantly just flowing through the rock, like on top and around and everything. And that the water is life, essentially. Like we're the stone, and water is life, because you know, people and circumstances and your work and family and just the holidays and everything, right? Life is always going. It's never still. And sometimes it's like just when you think things are going good, bam, life goes, nah, and throws something your way, right? So just knowing that the water is what makes you who you are. So the thing that sometimes the most terrible things that happen to us or feel like a really big setback or an adversity are the things that really truly build your strength, right? If you've never experienced the sour, then you'll never be able to truly appreciate the sweet. So your current actions, you know, are you storytelling? Are you making connections? Are you showing up? Are you doing personal development? Are you inviting? Are you reconnecting with people? Are you sharing? You know, she said in the next 2 months, it's really easy to give up. And I kind of already said that, where, you know, most people are going to give up. I mean, just watch it. Just watch. in the next 2 months, you have an opportunity to bring an awareness to you and make yourself the brand of health and fitness. You know, when everyone else is kind of being silent and being quiet, here you are showing up every single day. I know people sometimes will make fun of you for posting a workout selfie every day, but it's important. It's important to know that people know that you're walking your walk. You're not just being like, oh, you should join my challenge group, and you're not doing anything, or you do a workout like 2 or 3 times a week, you know, or you're like, drink Shakeology, but then like you don't drink it. So it's important to showcase that. And we've done previous calls to give you some ideas on what to post on social media. But if you need some recommendations, we got you. Number 2 would be to focus on the basics. So, you know, everyone's always looking for the secret to success, or, you know, everyone's distracted by the fluffy stuff. So, and this is more so for those of you that are kind of coaching, like you want to coach, but you spend like 2 hours trying to craft like a good post, or you like go and like Photoshop like a photo for, you know, like 30 minutes. Or you just post on social media, but you're not really talking to people. You know, to just focus on the basics and the 4 vital behaviors. The 4 vital behaviors, do you know what they are? You can type it as I'm talking. Somebody type it. Put in 1. This is a test. So you should know what the 4 vital behaviors are. If you're ever like, what should I do as a coach? The 4 vital behaviors. Alex said invite. Noella, you better be typing something. Who can type the fastest? Proof the products work. Walk the walk. I'm not going to give you all of them. Good vital behavior. I love it. So, and then the others, personal development, exactly. And then the last one is recognition. So she left off with, you know, water what you want to grow. Water what you want to grow. If you want to help more people, like if you want to reach more people, if you really want to help people change their lives, then highlight your teammates, your coach fam. I am, right? Focus on the positive experiences. I've been actually focusing on this, this week, but I try to do a good job. And actually someone I just sold a challenge pack to said she knew another coach, but she wanted to work with me because I had helped her friend and I had posted her friend, like her recognition. So I had been like, oh, look at my challenger, Jessica. She lost 5 pounds doing Turbo Fire. Like, isn't she awesome? So doing stuff like that really matters. People want to be recognized, you know. Think about how good it feels when someone says something nice about you. So water what you want to grow. If you want to help more people, if you want more coaches, you're going to have to paint this picture. And I hope you do believe it. But if you don't, then yes, that's what I was going with. That, you know, once you start like fake it till you make it, believe, what is it? Faith it until you make it, right? So if you don't have any coaches underneath you, or maybe you have 1 or 2, or maybe you have a handful of coaches, you've got to create this environment. Like, you know, our big team Set It Off, like this whole downline, we've got each other, you know. Befriend people on different teams, like Crystal and Jamie and Kelly's coaches and Noella, and damn it, I only have 10 more minutes. And, you know, and so I made an album in our group that's transformations. And I saw Noella posted her transformations, which was amazing. But please feel free to post your own. You know, like I say, I'm a stickler on this, but like no crazy borders or anything like that. And if you can share the ones that are like unedited, so it's just natural lighting, and then we can go in and put our own filters on it if we'd like, you know. But being able to share each other's stories and like highlight it, You know, so when you post your transformation in that album, you know, tell us a little story. Tell us about what program you did, how you felt before you did the program, and how you felt after. And then, you know, the results are the results, you know, like 10 pounds or 20 inches or, you know, 3 pounds, like 5 inches, whatever it is. It's like, that's just a number. People really care about stories. So the more you can share with us and give us a snapshot on how you were feeling, you know, or how Shakeology's made a difference. I did a post this week about how my hair is growing really fast and my nails. You know, these are things that you could be sharing, you know, from people on the team or even your own transformation. So what you want to grow, you've got to water. And then number 3 is decide here and now to be great. You become great when you decide. It's not necessarily all those people with all the accolades and they're 5-star, 2-star, they're diamond coaches, they're you know, hitting Success Club or anything like that. That's just the carrot. That's just like the tree coming out from the roots that were there. You know, all the roots and all the stuff that you don't see, all the behind the scenes stuff is really what makes someone great. And it's that moment when you decide that there is no other option, you're going to make it work. Kelly is such a great example of this. She actually reminds me of Sylvester Stallone in his story of Rocky. You know, he wanted to be an actor and he wanted to be a director, and he was unemployed and broke and like didn't care, like, and his wife hated him and blah blah blah. I'll send you the story about Sylvester Stallone, but basically he burned his bridges, he burned the boat, like he put himself on the island and he burned the boat. And the same thing is with Kelly, like, you know, being unemployed, and she's like, I'm going to make this coaching thing work. Like you know, obviously she could go get a part-time veterinary job, but she's like, I want this to work. And sometimes when you put yourself in that situation where you're like, there is no other option. There's like, oh, maybe I'll try to coach. Maybe I'll try to help people. When you say, I hope I will, or I'm going to try, you might as well just not, right? You might as well just not. Right? So what we say to ourselves out loud and in our heads really makes a difference. So cast your vision and shape your stone, never leave phase 1, and act as if, right? Become, do, and have. So those were my notes from the Seattle Super Saturday. I'm going to talk fast. I want to talk about the San Diego one, okay? And this one is the most important one because first off, we had Josh coach, which he's amazing, and I already have a ton of his resources, so I'm not really it's going to be one of those things where it's like, you should have been there. Should have been there, but basically he talked about weathering the storm, and growth is always uphill, and that the process never ends, and to trust it. And he gave us 3 things to do about working on our roots. So work on yourself, personal development, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, okay, this is the one I really want to talk about. So Sarah Try is an awesome coach, and she gave us a system that I think I probably will post something on our team page so you can see a visual. But she gave us this idea on scheduling out the next couple months so that you're not scrambling to be like, well, when should I do a challenge group? And this is even like our 5-day clean eating groups, our coach sneak peeks, our coach basics, like our monthly challenge groups. So, you know, really like what we're going to start enacting together as a team is that, because Alex, I think it's amazing that you're going to have your own challenge group, but I also think that you should have the option to be able to put other people into the other group, right? The team group, because you'll have people that'll be like, we want to stick together. But then you also have people that, you know, maybe want to do a different group. So having a solid deadline, and just having it strategically planned. So I'll upload the dates that we've decided as a collectively as a group. Enjoy all of the coaches being together, and even if you only have like a couple people, it just makes it feel more like a big group, you know. And so, because when I've had like 4 or 5 people in a group before, and if nobody posts that day, You're like, where did everybody go? But if you have a group of like 50 people and like half of them don't post, you still have 25 people that have posted. So she was talking about the biggest thing is getting people results and having a destination for your conversations that you're having with people. So the people that are liking your transformation posts, or anytime you're posting about the coach opportunity, or maybe just your daily workout photo, you know, that opens up a door. When someone likes your stuff, that opens up a door because they're giving you permission to be like, hey, thanks for liking my photo of me working out. You know, it's always this, it's kind of nerve-wracking for me to post photos of myself. It still feels kind of weird. So your support means a lot to me, you know, or something that feels more genuine and authentic to yourself. Because I know some of you on here are still weird about posting on social media. So you can be honest, you can be real. You can just be like, hey, it's still really hard for me to share my journey. So your support means a lot to me. And then just knowing that they have a destination. So either they're going to your upcoming challenge group, or the 5-day clean eating group, right? Or the coach sneak peek, or they're going to your monthly follow-up list. Like, let's say they're like, I don't want to do any free clean eating. I don't want to join your 30-day Beachbody On Demand group. Like, I don't want to do any of that. And or the conversation fizzles, because I'm sure, you know, I know I've had this happen a lot where you're talking, and then they just like disappear off the face of the earth. And so you can say something along the lines of like, looks like it's not the right time. You know, what I'll do is I'll put you on my list and I'll follow up with you next month to see if that'll be a better time. And so you have somewhere that people are going. And then some people might actually already be a coach or they're working with another coach. And then you just kind of put them on a master, like, no, not right now list, you know? So, okay. Does anyone want to add anything for your takeaways from Super Saturday?
Alex, I'd love to hear you speak a little bit about your Super Saturday experience. Also, just really quickly, recognition to Brandy because she's here. This is her first team call ever. She's never been on to even one of mine. And she signed up her first challenger today.
Yay!
So recognition to Brandy, like when you were talking about how great it feels. But anyway, we don't have much time, so I was just curious, Alex, Noella, whoever, Hazel, what did you guys take away from Super Saturday, Sunday?
Well, getting to see Jericho and do it live was like freaking amazing. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. And I made it through the workout and I didn't shoot, so that was awesome. I ate salad at Golden Valley the day before, and so it's kind of my fault. But anyway, that was really cool. But I really enjoyed what Josh was saying. I know that you touched on it a tiny bit, Jen, but about growth underground, or growing your roots, and how important that is, and not undermining yourself for taking time to grow the part of your business that people don't see. Because it's still really important to have those roots, because that's what makes your business strong. So just because you're not seeing it in the paycheck, or you're not seeing it in the Success Club points, or you're not seeing it at this moment in the number of challenges you have in the challenge group, that doesn't mean the work isn't valid and important. So.
Beautifully stated. Thank you, Alex. Amazing. All right, you guys. Well, that's all she wrote, because we're going to get cut off here. How did we get so lucky with our endless time today?
Yeah, we were on the Zoom for 3 hours or 4. I don't know how that worked out, but
anyway, so I will so post your transformations in our team page.
And stay tuned for the dates of the challenge groups in November and December. Good stuff. Thank you, Jen.
All right, thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.